Hey everyone, Ryan from Ebike Escape.
And JT from Ebike Escape. And today we're going to take a look at the all-new Saris MHS Modular Bike Rack.
Before we get into taking a closer look at the MHS, we'll have a link in the description. If you purchase through that link, it helps support Ebike Escape and makes videos like this one possible. I'll also include links to our electric bike accessories list, top e-bike brands page, and finally, our electric bike discounts code page, where we track all the deals on the electric bike brands that we follow. We're actually pretty excited to check out this Saris rack. It is brand new. There's actually not a lot of information out on it just yet. Now, Saris is a Wisconsin company, which is cool because we are also in Wisconsin, and they've been making bike racks for some time. They're also pretty big in the bike infrastructure space. So very well-known brand that makes high-quality bike components, bike accessories. So let's take a closer look at this new rack and see what it's capable of, specifically for electric bikes.
So this is the MHS Duo Bike Kit. With this 2+1 rack, what you get is this base, which has two windows for these bike trays, as well as a spot up here at the front where you can mount the +1 bike tray. That's this whole assembly that comes off the front to mount, or the back to mount a bike. The weight capacity on the back bike rack, though, is only 35 pounds, whereas for these two windows actually on the tray, the weight capacity is 60 pounds. Now, I know what some of you out there are thinking, that gets you really close to a lot of e-bikes. We think with the removal of the battery should put you within the weight range of this bike rack and really make it a nice competitive option to other bike racks out on the market for e-bikes.
And the thing I think that's worth pointing out just generally with bike racks, there's no one bike rack that I found that works with every electric bike, which is why we want to feature different bike racks on the channel. You'll note that we have the wheel holders on this Saris rack, so we'll go ahead and put it on a vehicle and put some different bikes on, so perhaps you can tell if this might be a good option for you. And we also are going to be reviewing their Door County bike rack in a future video, and that one has an electric assist, which raises and lowers the bike, so perhaps you can't lift those heavy electric bikes, or maybe your back will just thank you for buying that rack. And so that's a different kind of bike rack that we'll be featuring that uses different mounts than these wheel holders.
Entirely different mounts. Something Saris made very clear with this bike rack, which got me a little bit more excited about it, is that it is set up as a modular system. You'll buy this hitch mount, and then there's going to be other accessories besides bike accessories that you'll be able to mount on here. So a kid's bike mount option, and this is all speculation, I'm assuming a basket and some other cargo hauling capabilities. So the nice thing about this would be is if you're not constantly transporting bikes, you could use this for something else besides it being just a bike rack. All right, so from that, let's get installing. So you can see here, so we've got it all installed on the car already. So you have the center hitch mount, and then you have the two bike trays here. So some of the nice key features of the bike tray, first of all, are the wheel clamps. They are very similar to other brands on the market where you can push them forward and you can hear the mechanism click, but they do not come back. And then to pop it loose, you just push in on this silver lever, and then you have free movement back and forth. It's a really nice way to mount your bike. It's quick, it's easy. Another nice feature on these bike trays are these wheel clamps. It's meant just for the back wheel. And you can see here, it has this little block on the bottom, and it's slotted on the bottom. So it slides in and then it slides over, and so you can move it to the width of your bike. Another nice thing is it has here in the center, it has these built-in cables locks. And then when you're done with the cable lock, you don't have to worry about forgetting it at home or anything like that. It just slides right back in and is mounted all up out of the way.
And the other things that I'll just point out quickly, you do have some adjustment here for where it contacts the wheel. And then you also have these wheel blocks for the front tire. So the front tire is actually going to sit right here. And JT, maybe show us how this can go both up and down.
Yeah. The way it goes up and down is really easy. You have this nice little pull lever on the end. So you can mount it up and hit Ryan's car, or you can drop it down and get it out of the way. And then it can go to it has 4 different positions: down, locked at 90, 45, and flat. So, and the nice thing about dropping it down as Ryan, I'm sure, will tell you, with a bike on, you can open up the rear door and get into your rear SUV or minivan or anything like that. And then a nice, if you notice how wide these are as well, with having the multiple points for different size wheels, you notice how wide they are. The MHS rack is set up for 5-inch wheels straight out of the box. So instead of you having to buy an additional kit, it's built right into the MHS.
All right, I think we should get some bikes on here.
Yeah, let's get them on.
All right, so we are going to start with the Aventon Pace 500, brand new electric bike on the market. We just did our review not too long ago, so check that out if you're interested. You'll notice no fenders or rear rack on this electric bike. So this one's going to go on very easy. And technically on this bike with 27.5-inch wheels, we should go down one. So the top slot is for 29-inch wheels. Then it goes from greater than 24 inches to 27.5. Then we have 24-inch, and then we have 20-inch. And then these lower holes are actually going to help with some electric bikes that have fenders or rear racks, which we'll demonstrate here shortly. All right, next we are going to put on the Ride One Up 700 series, another bike, of course, that we have reviewed that I like quite a bit. And this bike, as you'll see, has fenders, both front and rear. All right, so you'll note that it's a little bit more unique with this 700 series on here. You can see we have it set so it just tucks right underneath that fender there. So what that's really preventing the bike from doing is moving left to right. And then to keep it down, of course, you have the wheel strap.
One of the other bikes that we did try out on this rack was the Rad Rover 6 Plus. It mounted in a very similar way to the 700 series. The only downfall that we did find about it, the weight of the Rad Rover 6 Plus unfortunately exceeds the recommended 60-pound weight limit of the rack. The Rad Rover 6 Plus weighs 65 pounds without the battery in it, so it is about 5 pounds over. But it was nice to try that bike on this rack to know that it does fit. So if you can find a bike that is under the 60-pound weight limit of the rack, we do know that they will fit on the rack. And one nice thing about this rack is that Saris did tell us that they are aware of the challenges of mounting a bike with fenders on a rack system like this. So they did hint at us that there is a fender compatible mount that'll change out this block system that is going to be coming in the very near future, summerish time frame. So we're super excited to get that in and try that out and see if that can expand the amount of bikes that this rack really fit with. And of course, one of the other important things with any bike rack is going to be price. So this MHS 2+1 bike rack, as you see it here, is $899. And so what you get for that is this 2+1 hitch mount and 2 bike trays. And the nice thing about this is that you can purchase everything individually. So the 1+1, this 2+1 come in at $250, and they do make a 3-bike hitch mount that comes in at $250, and the bike trays are $350 independently.
All right, so I hope this video was helpful if you're looking for a bike rack for your electric bikes. In summary, this bike rack shines best when it is used with electric bikes that are less than 60 pounds, that don't have fenders or a rear rack, but as we demonstrated, it does work with some bikes that do have rear racks and fenders. Again, a link will be in the description.
Yeah, and one of the other things I wanted to point out about the Saris bike racks is that Saris is distributed in a lot of local stores. I know Trek Stores, the specialized dealer near us, has them. So you may have some luck finding one local to you to try one out with your particular bike model before you purchase one.
With that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.